Well, I think that this is obviously a big challenge for our team. Playing what probably arguably is the best team in the nation right now. The way they're playing on offense, defense, and special teams, and we're just trying to get our guys to focus on doing the things they need to do to execute and give themselves the best chance to be successful. I know you're going to ask me questions about Tua. He's practicing and doing okay in practice. It's still going to be a game day decision or game time decision as to whether he plays in the game or not.
First question is from Rainer Saban of the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Coach. I'm doing a story about the challenges in recruiting a kind of traditional wide tight ends in today's, college football, especially with teams going more to that blue personnel and such at the high school level, in addition to what's going on at the college ranks. How hard has it become to try to find those kind of guys, that the hand-in-the-ground tight ends?
Well, I think the tight end position has evolved into a guy that in this day and age of football becomes a wide receiver at times, and he's flexed outside the formation. He plays off the ball at times, so he's really kind of a fullback of sorts. And then he's got to play with his hand in the dirt in the C area. And to find a guy that can do all three of those things well, it's a pretty unique set of circumstances to have the size and athleticism to be able to do all three of those things. But so I guess it is a bit of a challenge to find guys like that. But you can also play role players at that position who are good at part of those things and, maybe not quite as good at others and feature what they can do.
Do you, given the fact that there are, maybe more wide receivers available because of the shift in high school football towards more of the kind of, blue personnel, three receiver sets and such, and that's just what's available, do you think that's accelerated the move in college ranks towards, featuring more blue personnel across the board?
No, I think it's a philosophical thing, relative to spreading the field and make people defend, all parts of the field by being in spread out formations. And obviously to do that, the better receivers that you have, the more effective it is. So it's probably, a little bit of both.
Thanks.
Next question is from Alex Byington of the Montgomery Advertiser.
Hey, Nick. With the release of the playoff rankings last night, there was a lot of talk about your Alabama's schedule to this point maybe not being as strong as others around the country. Just do you have any comment, response to some of that?
Look, I didn't even look at the college football rankings. I don't even know what we were ranked. It's not going to matter if we don't win the games that we play. So we're more focused on what we got to do to try to be successful against the challenging teams that we have to play. So, we've talked about this before. We're doing everything we can to try to improve, the schedule that we have, and we're going to continue to do that.
Thanks, Nick. And just obviously there's a lot of reports out there, the president coming to the game, just your reaction to that as well.
Well, it's an honor, I think, that, the president of the United States would, be interested enough to come, to the game. And I'm sure we'll do everything we can to welcome him.
Thanks, Nick.
Next question is from Brooks Cabina of The Advocate.
Hey, Nick. Ed Ogeron was talking earlier today about with the president coming, and he remembers his visit in '03 to the White House. He said that was the first time he got to meet you in person. What do you remember about that meeting, and how was that experience?
Well, we've been to the White House several times, and it's always a very, very flattering, unique experience. I think if you were in Bangkok, Thailand, and you told somebody you had the opportunity to go to the White House, they'd say, that's quite an honor. So we've always looked at it as quite an honor to go to the White House, and I do remember meeting Ed. I don't remember a lot about it, but I've always had a lot of respect for Ed and what he's been able to accomplish, now as a head coach and also when he was an assistant coach. So we have a lot of respect for him as well.
Yeah, would that yard have been big enough for a game?
I'm sorry?
Oh, I remember President Bush had said that they had a football field there in the yard at least to have a game between y'all. I don't know if it would have been big enough.
I don't know either. You can kind of go check that out yourself, I guess.
All right, thank you.
Next question is from Ed Ashoff of ESPN.
Yeah, Coach, when you look at LSU's receivers, just what sort of challenges do they bring to your secondary this weekend?
Well, I think they're a very talented group. I think they've got really good size. They're very athletic. They make a lot of contested catches. They're good route runners. They play tough. They can be physical as blockers. And they have a great scheme, and they do a really good job of executing it. And quarterback has played very well, and I think, those guys have made each other look really good, all year long. So this is a real challenge.
And when you look at, what Joe Brady and Joe Burrow kind of done with this offense, how impressive is it to kind of see, LSU take this step offensively, considering they've been a very run-first kind of offense lately?
Well, I think they're definitely doing what features the players that they have in a very positive way, and I think it shows in how they played offensively, being one of the best offensive teams in the country.
Thank you.
Next question is from Glenn Gilbo of the USA Today Network.
Coach, did you meet any presidents, or were you present at anything a president was at before your national championships?
Oh, yeah.
I think
Bill
was
Clinton,
it right at
Clinton
Michigan
came to Michigan State to do speak at the graduation commencement ceremony, and they actually headquartered in our facility building. So, I had an opportunity to meet him and talk to him.
I think you told me he took a nap on your couch in your office. Is that right?
Well, he didn't take it in my office. The Secret Service guys came and got my couch and asked if they could take it to his office so that he could take a nap, and I said, certainly.
Okay, thanks.
Next question is from Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Good, Bob.
Hey, I think you would have been about 18 back in '69, but Richard Nixon went to the Texas-Arkansas game when they were 1-2, and Darryl Rowe called it the big shootout. That's back when there was only one game on TV on Saturday. I just wondered, as a young guy, do you have did you happen to watch that game or have any recollection of it all these years ago?
Well, I saw that they had some kind of highlight on ESPN about that or something, some kind of show about that. So I don't have any recollection of it. I always had to go. I had to be the guy that had to go out and turn the antenna for my dad so he could watch whatever he wanted on TV. So I'm sure I was busy doing that. But I did see it on TV, and it was a pretty exciting game and, pretty amazing experience, I'm sure, for both teams.